What's happening, guys? Dean from Serious Strength Academy. So, one of the subjects that I find quite interesting and I quite like to rant about, I guess, but it's like understanding that strongmen athletes or athletes, they're not food competitors, right? Now, what do we mean by this? Because obviously, look, the sport has developed so much over the years. And years ago, strongman used to be about, let's just face it, it was big, fat, strong men, right? Now, their aim wasn't to be fat, no. But at the end of the day, it was all about get the calories in, get as big as you can because you're lifting big weights, right? The sport has changed so much now, and it's become a fitness sport. It's become so much more, like more about the fitness as opposed to the strength. Yes, the strength is obviously up there, but it's become more of a balance as opposed to just static strength. So the thing is, I know where it comes from, and I know why people think push calories. But at the end of the day, the more calories you push, the harder your body has to work. The benefit you get from pushing them extra calories isn't big enough to warrant doing it. And people become stupid because they think it's all about how much food I can eat to have the energy. And the thing is, right, your energy comes from inside. Like, I have been at points where I've had to hardly eat anything because I was cutting to be under 90s and still been at the top of the game and still reached the podium. Why? Because I was hungry inside. And that's the difference between being smart, I guess, within what you're doing and just fucking eating for the sake of it. Because, people that think I need to get my calories in, they miss a meal and then they have a shit training session. That's not because they missed a meal. That's because they didn't want it enough. It's because they didn't focus on the goal and they think, man, I've missed a meal, so I'm going to perform bad. You've just told yourself that. The body doesn't quite work like that. And again, if you miss meals every day, then there's a difference, right? Then that's not just a missed meal, that's poor nutrition. But if you miss one meal, you are not going to be affected from that one day, from that one meal, that one day. So again, going back to what we're talking about, like, yes, you need a decent amount of calories to be strong. But ultimately, you need to focus on the micronutrient as opposed to the macro. So rather than looking at the protein, fats, carbs, and the overall calories, look at the actual nutrient, what you're giving your body. If you're giving yourself enough of the good nutrient, the greens, the protein, the different types of foods, and the aminos, and like breaking foods down as opposed to just being about the protein, the fat, the carb, and then you're going to get much better results because you are in a healthier state and you are fueling your body a lot better. And this is the key to becoming stronger. The healthier you are, the stronger you become, the better you perform. So, for the guys that are in like the open weights, who are thinking that they just need to keep piling on the calories and piling on the weight to get stronger, rethink your strategy. Rethink how you're looking at things and look at how you can perform better as opposed to how you can eat more. Because I'm telling you now, being bigger when you are holding more body fat means your muscles need to be stronger. So therefore, you're in a deficit of a position already. You're putting yourself in a worse position because the fact that you're heavier and your muscles aren't stronger. You're heavier because of the fat, and that's it. You're not going to move better, you're not going to perform better. Having more fat does not make you perform better, period. And that's the thing that people need to understand. So, even for the guys in the weight categories, like I went from 90s to 105s. I mean, when I finished the 90s and finally decided that I was going 105s, I went straight to, I think it was 102, but I was lean, I was tight, and everyone was like, how the hell have you just done that? And that was simply because as a 90 athlete, I was 97. I was reaching my limit, and that is why I decided to go 105s in the end. I was reaching my limit to the point where I was having to cut so much that it was actually affecting my performance. And that's why I never reached first place. I come second, I come third, I come fourth, I come blah, blah, blah. But I never hit first place because I had that something that was holding me back, and it was because You know, my knees used to scream at me because of the fact that I was malnutritioned to be in that position. And I was struggling because I literally had to cut too many calories. And I wasn't getting the nutrient in that I need to actually perform well. So that's where I had the struggle. And then I went into the 105s. The reason I grew straight to 102 or 103, whatever it was because my body was ready to go to that point. But then if I was to go from, you know, 102 to then opens, it's clear that the weight I would put on there would be fat because I wouldn't be able to build that tissue in that time. You need to mature and you need to progress yourself as you go through, as opposed to, you know, like so many people ask, what weight category shall I be? You don't just click your fingers and you are that weight category. You have to mature into it. And again, for me going from 90s to 105s, I'd matured the 90s so much that I was then into the 105. I'm now not the heaviest in the 105s and I don't have to cut down, but eventually over time, I'll build that up and that's where I'll then reach that same point within there. So again, guys, when you're looking at your structure and how you do things and how you eat, look at your nutrients, look at what you're eating as opposed to how much you're eating, and start to understand that you will perform better when you look deeper into the micronutrients of what you eat as opposed to just how much calories you can eat. But guys, hope you enjoy it. Subscribe to the channel. I'll be dropping lots of videos like these as well. And I'll see you soon.